Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to our English class. It is truly a pleasure to have you here for another session of our pronunciation journey. We have spent significant time laying the groundwork, understanding how our vocal autonomy works, and exploring the beautiful rhythmic nature of vowels. But today, I want to take a moment to pause and address a new exciting challenge. We're going to turn our attention toward what I like to call the architectural elements of English, which are the challenging consonants. Think about the way we speak for a moment. If vowels are the music and the melody of our language, the part that carries the emotion and the rhythm, then of course the consonants are the structure. They are the same frame of the house. Without them, our speech would be nothing more than a series of sliding, shifting vowel sounds. So we need those sharp, precise, and distinct boundaries to turn sound into meaningful language. However, as we all know, some of these consonants are far more demanding than others. Some require a level of precision that can feel almost acrobatic for our tongues and lips. There are certain sounds in English that are notorious for being tricky. They exist in a gray area where the difference between being understood clearly and being slightly misunderstood comes down to a tiny, almost invisible movement of the tongue or a fraction of a second in timing. Maybe you've found yourself struggling with sounds that seem to disappear, sounds that feel too similar to one another, or sounds that simply don't exist in your native language, making them feel like a foreign invader in your mouth. I want to emphasize that feeling this challenge is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. Quite the opposite, actually. Feeling the difficulty of a sound is actually a sign that your ear is developing. You're becoming more sophisticated listener. So when you notice that a V or the V, no, that particular sound isn't quite the same as B, or that sh sound in ship has different texture than the s in sip, so you are achieving something remarkable. You are beginning to hear the language the way a native speaker hears it, which is the absolute most important prerequisite for learning to produce those sounds. Now, of course, sounding it yourself. In the upcoming sessions, we're going to dive deep into these complex consonant clusters and individual tricky sounds. We are not going to rush it, and we are not going to assume that anyone has these challenging consonants mastered overnight. We will take them apart, look at exactly what the tongue is doing, how the breath is being channeled, and where the vibration is occurring. We will look at how these consonants change depending on where they are in a word, because as you've likely noticed, a sound at the beginning of a word can behave very differently than the same sound at the end. So, this is going to be a process of discovery. We're going to look for the shortcuts and the physical secrets that make these sounds manageable. So, I want you to enter this new phase of our class with a sense of curiosity rather than pressure. Forget about perfection for a moment. Instead, focus on the sensation. Like, how does your mouth feel? Where is the tension? Is your breath flowing or is it blocked? So, we're going to focus on the physicalities. How all of these articulators, or what we call the different parts of our mouth, that that are responsible for producing a sound, which includes the tongue, the teeth, the mouth, the lips, the vocal cords, and the others. So by the end of this series on challenging consonants, my goal is not just for you to say these sounds, but for you to own them. I want you to feel so comfortable with these movements that you no longer have to think about them while you are speaking. So we are building the tools that will allow you to express yourself with total clarity and confidence. So let's get ready to get comfortable with the uncomfortable because this is where the real growth happens. Are you all ready to see what our mouths are truly capable of? Because again, this is another topic on our series on pronunciation. So we've done already multiple actually third or fourth topic already for pronunciation. There are still plenty of topics that we can discuss or we are going to tackle on pronunciation because, again, pronunciation is very important, especially when you try to speak with another English speaking person. Okay, so I think we are all ready. Let me just quickly check my mic, no, my audio and my PPT for a moment. Okay, everything is good. Again, our topic is challenging consonants under pronunciation. Okay, so we've had such a wonderful time learning the previous topics on pronunciation. We're going to focus on another hard part. No, you will be with me for another hour. And this particular topic will not be done today, no? Since there are multiple consonants that kind of challenging or even really literally challenging to pronounce or to differentiate. Okay? So this will not take one session only. I don't want you to rush. I don't want to rush you. I don't want to overwhelm you because it is really there may be some of you, but I would like it to take it slow so that you really are learning from this particular discussion. Okay? It's not rushed at all because tendency or the risk if we are rushed, you might eventually forget it. No, I want it to be lifelong learning for you. Anyway, let's have challenging consonants. Now, you might wonder why consonants can feel so difficult. Now, when we speak, we use our whole body or our whole mouth, our lips, our teeth, and even our tongue just to create a sound. Sometimes our mouth just isn't used to making these specific movements. So, why exactly do these sounds feel so hard? So, let's look at the four main reasons why consonants can be challenging. First, no equivalent in L1. L1 meaning first language. So no match in your native language. Your native language or L1 might not have the same sound. So the first reason is that your native language might not have the same sound. That's what it says. Every language is like its own unique set of musical notes. If your native language doesn't have a specific sound that English uses, your brain and mouth have never had a reason to make that movement before. It's like trying to play a note on a piano that doesn't exist on your keyboard. So it feels strange, and you might not know where to put your tongue because, again, you've never had to do it until now. This is completely normal and it just means your mouth is learning a brand new skill. Okay? Second reason is it is similar but different. So the sound exists but is produced slightly different. So the second reason is that a sound might exist in your language but it is produced slightly different. So this can be even more confusing than a completely new sound. You might think, oh, I know that sound, but when you say it, it sounds just a little bit off to a native speaker. Maybe you put your tongue in almost the right spot, but it needs to be just a tiny bit farther forward or backward. And because the sounds are so similar to what you already know, your mouth tries to take a shortcut. No, it tries to use the old way instead of the new English way. So it takes time to notice these tiny details, but you will get there. That's what is important. Again, we are not going to rush anything here, because I want you to really learn about this topic. Anyway, that's the second reason. Third is voicing. So confusion between voiced and unvoiced pairs. Now, if you've watched my discussion on International Phonetic Alphabet or IPA, you are already familiar with voiced and unvoiced sounds, not pairs. Yeah, it could be pairs, but the term there is voiced and unvoiced sounds. Yeah, there are pairs because they are more, when we talk about voiced and unvoiced pairs, meaning that there are two consonant letters that is produced by the same way, by the same location of your tongue. Like you use the same articulators to produce this sound. It's just that the difference is the one is voiced and the one is unvoiced. But you use the same placing of your mouth, of your teeth, of your tongue, all of your articulators. It's just that there is vibration for the other one and there is no vibration for the other one. Okay, so that's the voice pair. So here the voice switch or voicing, this is when we have trouble with pairs of sounds. Like for example, the one that is given there, the sounds and b b. Have you ever noticed that these two sounds use the same mouth position? Because they do. No, your lips do the exact same thing. So the only difference is that for b, you turn your voice on. How do you how do you recognize if you turned your voice on, or if the sound is voiced? You touch your throat and you will feel a buzz there. Okay, so let's try to sound it out. B. Again, b. There is a vibration, and that means it is a voiced sound. And then we also have p. Again, so here your voice is off. Let's try to check. No vibrations at all. So it is voiceless or unvoiced. Okay? So many learners get confused between these two because the mouth shape is the same. So they forget to flip that voice switch in their throat. Learning to control your vocal cords to turn that vibration on or off is a huge part of sounding clear. So make sure that you really voiced appropriately, no? Depending on what kind of consonant sound are you really trying to voice. Okay? Next, our last one, manner and place of articulation. So different tongue or lip positions or teeth position, no? Everything that works together to produce a sound. So that is the manner and place of articulation. This is just a fancy way of saying where and how you put your tongue or lips. So every consonant has a specific place where it happens, like behind your teeth, against your lips, or deep in your throat, and a specific manner, which is how the air moves through. So if you put your tongue in the wrong spot, or if you block the air when you should let it flow, the sound will change completely. It is like a secret code. If you don't have the right tongue or lip position, the code won't open. So don't feel discouraged if these feel tough right now. Every single one of these challenges is just a puzzle we are going to solve together. So we will practice these movements slowly, look at where our tongue needs to go, and eventually these sounds will become easy for you. I am so excited to start this journey with you. Are you ready to see what our mouths are really capable of? So, those are again the different reasons as to why consonants are challenging. First is no equivalent in L1. Second, similar but different. Third, voicing. And last one is manner or place of articulation. Okay. Any questions so far? Let me check. Okay. Reminding everybody that you can always use our live chat for any kind of responses. May it be a question because you're confused, or there are some clarifications that you wanted to just ask me. And then aside from that, maybe you wanted to add. No, you wanted to give additional information about the topic, you can do that. Or you can just share your experiences. You can share your reactions upon listening to the discussion. Any kind of responses are accepted as long as it is respectful and especially relevant to the topic that we are discussing right now. No? Again, you can use our live chat for that. Okay? I am constantly checking the live chat for any kind of responses so that I will not miss anything. Okay? I will read that. Don't worry. I will always recognize your responses. I love your responses. So, of course, I will encourage you to share one. Okay? Anyway, I guess there are no questions, meaning we are going to move forward. Okay, now here, so those two are just the same. Here we're going to start with the first set of challenging consonants. So, one of the most challenging sounds in the English language, the interdental fricatives. So, these are known as the TH sounds. Again, interdental fricatives. The most important rule to remember for these sounds is that you must place your tongue between your teeth. If you do not put your tongue in this specific position, you will not be able to produce the correct sound. So there are two different types of TH sounds in English. Even though they both require you to put your tongue between your teeth, they sound quite different because of how your voice works. Okay? So the voiceless, oh, sorry. Okay, for a moment. Okay, the voiceless TH sound here, the first one, air only. So the first sound is the voiceless TH, which is written as this one. So it looks like this one, zero with a line in the center. So this is often called the voiceless version because you do not use your vocal cords at all when you make it. When you produce the sound, the only thing you should hear is the sound of air moving out of your mouth. You can practice this sound by focusing entirely on your breath. Since it is air only, you should not feel any vibration in your throat when you say it. If you touch your throat while making this sound, it should feel completely still. Some examples of words that use the voiceless th sound include, so let's just try to sound it out first. Again, make sure that you place your tongue between your teeth. So like that. It's just peaking. And then sound it out. That is the sound of a voiceless th. You are not using your vocal cords at all. Okay? Some examples of words that use the voiceless th sound include think, this one, think. Beside it, the one in black color is its IPA transcription. Remember, if you try to write the IPA transcription or just a sound, no, and you try to write a letter, just so letter, and you represent a sound, you will use a dash. Okay, this one. And then aside from that, we also have both. In this word, the voiceless TH sound appears at the end. And then last one is teeth. This word also features voiceless TH sound at the end. Okay? All right. Now, the voiced TH sound, air plus vocal cord vibration, or you will feel a buzz, okay, on your throat. So the second sound is the voiced TH, which is written as this one, okay? It's like flipped six with a line at the tip. So this version is called the voiced because you must add vocal cord vibration when you say it. Instead of just pushing air out, you combine that air with a buzzing sound from your throat. So this buzz is what makes, sorry, this buzz is what makes the voiced sound different from the voiceless sound, even though your tongue position between your teeth remains exactly the same. So to produce this sound correctly, you need to keep your tongue in the interdental position while turning on your voice to create that humming or buzzing effect. If you are not sure if you're doing it right, place your fingers on your throat while you practice. You should feel a distinct vibrations or buzz when you say words that use the voiced sound. Some examples that we have here, you have th, th, that. So the voiced th sound is here heard at the beginning of this word. We also have at the middle of a word, brother, brother, and at the end of the word, with. So that is the voiced th sound. If you uses your vocal cords, it sounds like really vibration. Th, 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 something like that. Okay, so that is the first pair of challenging consonants. There are still more, six or more around that number. Okay, so these sounds are considered challenging. No, the th sound or the interdental fricatives, they're considered challenging because they require very precise control over your tongue and your vocal cords. Because both the voiced and voiceless th sounds require the tongue to be placed between the teeth. It is easy to get them confused. The only thing that truly inspires them or separates them is the presence or absence of the vocal cord vibration or buzz. So when you're practicing, remember to be patient with yourself. It takes time to train your muscles to move your tongue to the right place and to learn how to turn your vocal cord vibration on or off on command. Start by isolating the sounds and they try practicing them in the example words provided. So focus on the physical sensation of the air of the voiceless th sound and the physical sensation of the buzz for the voiced sound. So by mastering these two movements, you will be well on your way to improving your pronunciation of these common but tricky English sounds. Every time you practice, you're building the muscle memory needed to make these sounds feel more natural. So keep focusing on that tongue position and the vibration in your throat. Okay? Now that we have covered the basics of how to produce the TH sounds, it is time to put knowledge into action with a practice drill using the sentences here in your screen. So we can begin to master these challenging sounds by repeating them in context. Practicing these in sentences is a fantastic way to build the muscle memory required to switch fluidly between voiced and voiceless sounds without really thinking about it. Okay? Are we all ready? Okay, let's do a quick breathing exercise. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale. So the first sentence is the thin thieves thought they could thrive without their brother. Thin, what are the different words that uses the th sounds? Thin, th that is, I'm so sorry. TH sound is voiceless, unvoiced. Thin, thieves, thought, thrive. So meaning the sound of an unvoiced TH is no vibrations at all. In these words, not highlighted, you're using the voiceless TH sound. Remember to keep your throat quiet and focus on the airflow, okay? Next, here we have There's also a voice th sound in the sentence. We have without their brother. So these words feature the voiced sound. When you say these, remember to turn your vocal cords on to create a gentle buzz. So as you practice the sentence, pay close attention to how quickly your mouth needs to adapt. You are moving back and forth between the hiss of the voiceless sound and the hum of the voiced sound. Take it slow at first. Ensure that everyone you see at TH, your tongue is positioned correctly between your teeth. If you find yourself rushing, you might lose the precise tongue placement. So keep it steady and deliberate. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. Now, so that's the first sentence. The second sentence is I think that there are 33 thorns on this thorn bush. So we have the soft, not soft, but the voiceless th sound. We have think 30 thorns, thorn bush. These words require the voiceless th sound. Focus on the clean, airy release of breath. And then there's also, of course, there's also a there's also this version, a voiced sound, voice th sound. We have um that, there, this. So it was already highlighted here. These words use the voiced th sound. Remember to add that vocal vibration to make the buzz and distinct. So that is it. Okay, that is the second sentence. Third, mixing and matching. So the third sentence is feathers and leather are smooth and warm of weather. Okay, what's the first word? Okay. So the sentence is interesting because it places th sounds in the middle of words rather than just the beginning or end. This challenges you to move your tongue into the between of teeth position to make these adjustments smoothly within the rhythm of a normal sentence. Okay? Okay. When working through these drills, remember the core principles we have discussed: exaggerate the precision, monitor the vibration, practice rhythms. Okay? Okay. So that's the um another sentence. So that's the sentence three. Now, this sentence is interesting because it places a th sound in the middle of words rather than just at the beginning of or end. This challenges you to move. Okay. Okay. The advices, of course, first exaggerate the position can, especially in the beginning. It is very helpful to make the tongue movement slightly larger than necessary. This ensures your tongue is fully visible between your teeth, which is a great indicator of correct placement. Monitor your vibration. Keep those fingers on or your throat. It is the best. It is the best. It is very helpful to make the tongue movement slightly larger than necessary. So this ensures your tongue is fully visible between your teeth, which is a great indicator of correct placement. Okay. Aside from that, you also monitor the vibration. Keep those fingers on your throat. It is the best way to verify that you're accurately switching between the air only, voiceless around sounds, and the air plus voiced sounds. Okay. So practice the rhythms. You can say these sentences slowly to focus on precision, or you can say them faster, more natural speed one. So methods you help you internalize message this one. Okay. Okay, so that is on the challenging consonants for the three main parts. Let's focus now on, okay, we have the next challenging consonants are the as F and each as upper teeth gently touch lower lip. Okay, so the first sound is the voiceless sound. You know the sound is produced using air only because it is voiceless. So those practice drills are not about speed. They are absolute consistency and control every time you correctly place your tongue and choose the keeps right voice setting. They're teaching your brain and your mouth to work together more efficiently. Keep it all focused on the okay. So that is on challenging consonants, especially labiodental services. Okay. Okay. So we also have here this one, the challenging consonants, labiodental fricatives. Okay. Fricatives. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to this one. Labiodental fricatives. We're going to turn our attention to the south of challenging consonants, the labiodental fricatives. These are known as the teeth o lip sounds. The fundamental rule for producing these sounds correctly is to be ensure that your upper teeth gently tap your lid or trending. So the fundamental rule for producing these sounds correctly is ensure that your upper teeth will find it difficult to produce the distinct sounds required to A and W. So labiodental is a precise term that breaks your heart. Okay, sounds like we previously studied at least two images, so something like that. Okay, can so you can see examples of the sounds in the following DDS. Okay, so you can use the first sound, the sound, and we also have g, g. So those are the first, of course, those are first sound. The first sound of this one is, of course, 5 years. Okay. So the first sound is the voiceless. This cook is sound is produced by nutpick. Okay. Okay. So we're going to move on with this one, labiodental fricatives. Teeth on lip, upper teeth gently touch lower leaf. Okay. So in here we have two sounds that are closely related, and just like our previous work with TB sounds, they really on a specific related, so they rely on that. And just like our previous work with the TH sounds, they rely on a specific physical positioning of your mouth to be produced correctly. Try using the practice sentences provided. Um, Any? I guess none. Okay. Well, anyway, it's time to look more forward to our pronunciation because it's time to move forward in our place and location by practice. Okay? Before we begin with the practice sentences, let's briefly review the mechanics of these sounds. The sound. This is voiceless sound, meaning you can use air at the balloon. So I have this one. Okay. So that is it, actually. We have that one. The sounds are f and v. So upper teeth gently touch lower lip. Now we have first the sound. This is a voiceless sound, meaning your air only used to create one. You might produce it by placing your top teeth against your bottom lip and blowing out. Blowing air won't make you through, but at least it can give you something, right? Now, this is the voiced counterpart U, B, and G. Ship, but you also need extra time. Agita. Anyway, that's on the f and sound. No vibration. V, there is a vibration. Okay. All right. Next. Now we're moving on to a consonant, challenging consonant for everybody. Okay. So that is so the first sentence we have here is five fast vans vanish from the village field. Okay. So we have four voiced and three voices. Five fast from field, vans vanish village. So those are words utilize the voices F sound from the rep, crisp, air quality of these words by keeping your throat completely still. These words utilize the voiced V sound. For these, Yimu born Vans Vanish English. These words are used to correct the voices TF sound and focus on trip of quality of these words. But these are like in a common, okay, common challenge in consonants. Now, this sentence is an excellent drill because it forces you to alternate quickly between the voiceless, the sound, and the voiced one. By switching back and forth, you're training your brain to turn that voice switch on and off rapidly while making the same lip teeth movement. Okay, so that is it. Again, we also have some examples here. First is this one, the symbol of fricatives breakdown next on later. So this sound, this is described as voices hiss because it is voices when no vibration in your throat, just the sound of air. Example includes stay, no, or sour. The Z sound, this is the voiced version of this sound, creating a distinct bass. Some example or some people, especially reporting important people, is crucial for formulas. Examples will include zip. Okay, so this sound is a very okay. Okay. So the O's or sound to produce this, your lips should be rounded and your tongue should be pulled back. Examples include shut, 3-year-old, not the 3-year-old, but that one, the alphabetical sound. This sound is essentially the voice version. That, of course, everything is disturbed. But anyway, why this sound matter? The sibilant fricatives are fundamental to the texture of the spoken English because everything They rely on the specific positioning from the tongue behind text. The symbol of focus fricatives are the fundamental explosive texture for your spoken hyphen, but of course, because they are on a specific position or the tongue based behind um behind the teeth, of course, later on when you are practicing these sounds, remember the following key points from tongue position, airflow, voice fee. So here for this one, the tongue position for all these sounds focus on um the victim's placement behind the teeth. Arrow, these are all fricatives, meaning by they require constant, smooth flow, and voicing is voicelessness. So we have this one. Um, in here we have sample sentences. Okay, so we have five fast. The first tongue twister is five fast vanish, vanish from the village field. Second is she gave me 12 fresh flowers for the jade. And lastly, cheer has still grow ups or offers for the job. Okay, all right. Now those are contractual, of course. For a moment, let's have just a quick break. 1 minute, 2 minute break. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, everything's good. Let's continue. Here, five fast. For a moment. Okay. Here we have the words for the first sentence. We have the words five fast from field. Those are words that utilize the voice's sound. Focus on the crisp, airy quality of these words by keeping your throat completely still. And then we also have vanish, village, and vans. These words utilize the voiced one. Now, for these, you must ensure that your vocal cords are vibrating, creating that distinct pass. So the sentence is an excellent drill because it forces you to alternate quickly between the voices and the voiced. Another sentence we have: she gave me 12 fresh flowers for the vase. What are the voiced consonant there? We have gave, 12, and vase. And of course, fresh flowers for are um soft, not soft copy, but voiceless, okay, or unvoiced. And then the last sentence is I believe he has a few offers for the job. So we have one only for the voiced, believe, then three for voiceless or unvoiced, few offers, and four. So those are the different words. So the final drill is great for practicing the and sounds in a more controversial or conversational context. Even in sentences that seem simple, the rapid alternation between these sounds can be tricky. So by slowing down and focusing on whether you're cool is on or off, you ensure that each word is pronounced clearly. Okay. So to get the most out of the drills in this particular thing, keep the straight minds. Use bottom lick for both sounds. Okay. Okay. Now, tips for effective practice of this one. Of course, you use a mirror. Mirror is very important. Watch your mouth to ensure your top teeth are making firm contact with your bottom lip for both sounds, because if it is not placed properly, it would be very hard for you to really speak the sound. Throat check, just as well we did with teeth sounds. If place your fingers on your throat, you should feel absolutely no vibration for F or the sounds, but a strong, clear vibration of V. Consistency is key actually. Do not worry if you make mistakes at first. The goal is to build the muscle memory required to make these sounds automatically over time. By working through these sentences regularly, you're strengthening the muscles in your lips and your control over your own vocal cords. So these small, deliberate movements are the foundation of clear, accurate pronunciation in English. Keep focusing on the physical sensations of these sounds and remember that every repetition brings you closer to greatly and to clarity and goodness in your class. Okay? So that's what it is. Anyway, those are the different sentences that uses the challenging consonants f and v. Okay? We move on to the last challenging consonant for the day. We're going to continue next meeting. Here, we are ready to tackle with another fascinating group of sounds, the sibilant fricatives. These are known as your hissing and buzzing sounds. To produce these effectively, you generally position your tongue behind your teeth. Sounds to practice. So we are I'm sorry. Okay. So the sibilant fricatives sound, we have four here included. The sound. This is described as a voiceless hiss because it was this voiceless. There is no vibration in your throat, just the sound of air. We also have, oh no, we also have b. I know, not b, but and then after that z, and n. And last one, okay, all good. Anyway, now when several fricatives are fundamental to the behind texture, to the texture of spoken English, because they rely on a specific positioning of the tongue based on the thing. Okay? Okay. So those are sibilant fricatives. Why is this important? Because of course, sibilant fricatives or fricatives are behind the teeth texture of the specific positioning of the tongue behind the teeth and that controlly enrolled and get on or until now. So anyway, and the distinction between the voices and the voice is particularly vital since is used to so frequently for plurals. Mastering this voiced buzz will immediately make your English sound more natural to a native listener. Simply the difference between the dogs part from this one is just very quick. So tongue position for all these wounds need these sounds focus on the iPhone's placement behind the teeth. So airflow also, there's are all fricatives, meaning they require consistent, smooth flow of air. We also have voicing voices. Use your fingers to hack to check your throat for vibration. You should feel nothing for S and J if you put clearly. And then last one is this one. It's okay. So that one is tips for practicing when you're practicing these sounds. Remember the following points: tongue position for all these sounds, placement behind the teeth. Allow these teeth forward, tracing meaningful things. Okay, tongue position. Tongue position, airflow. Airflow, these are all voicing versus voicelessness. Use your fingers to check on your throat for vibration. You should feel nothing as to and a clear buzz of 2, 3. Okay. As you work through these, do not rush. These sounds are quite familiar, similar than they of already build a career, but precisely they don't rush, especially the sounds for sleep or practice. The similar and the only way to be necessary is okay. So that is on this one, not this anime say as I read for fricatives. Okay. Okay. So aside from that, it's time to put our knowledge of civil fricatives into practice with a dedicated trail using the sentences provided. We can offer our unique control over here for using and buzzing sounds by producing these sounds and with beautiful, look sentences to train to your mouth to transition smoothly because unnecessary for fluid directions to really go over there. Okay. So here our tongue usually tongue second is fresh milk and this candy. First sense in image people shift at the night together. And then Shy shall push twice, and these words cost at least $40 in total for the future of the voices. PRC tip: focus on rounding your lips and pulling your back together. Since these are all voiceless, keep your mouth completely shut and let your own country. Okay, and then we move on to the last one. So these two are the last one. We start with the sound. Who cannot understand at all? Okay, the sentence is a great way to warm up your clothes or your muscles because it repeatedly requires you to form that kind of round shape. By focusing on the contrary lips and pulling your tongue back since there are voices kept you. Okay. So the sentence is a great way to warm up your muscles because it really requires you to from that word. Okay, we're up onto the company, not the person. But anyway, okay, so they sound hazardous enough. This sentence provides an excellent opportunity to focus entirely on the voiced Z sound because it appears in almost every key word. You can really lock in that sensation of vocal cord vibration, ensure your tongue is placed behind your teeth and your vocal cords are fully engaged, creating ba creating balik. Okay. Okay. So practice tip is not how these words are like actually fit. Okay. So we can make you flip this one. So that is of course for the vitals. Now here the sentence is vital because it contrasts with the previous ones by focusing heavily on the voiceless as sound. By practicing the sentence, you're reinforcing your ability to produce a clear, sharp hiss without any accidental position of your working of your okay of that one. When working through the drills, of course, remember these costs are strategies to success. Aside from that, we do editing. Monitor your vibrail. Okay, so we have working through this drills. Remember the opposite core strikes. Monitor the vision, drill the vision, monitor the vision. ID, the ID. Okay, so that's it. Please just check on it again. So these practice drills from different pictures that I showed you. There's also a picture lang gihapon. Okay. So yeah, every time you repeat these help send testers your conditioning muscles to respond more Okay. There. So every time you repeat these sentences, you're conditioning your muscle to respond more naturally, which of course keep focusing on the airflow. The tongue position and significantly you're doing it right now. In this session, we turn our attention to a very unique of sounds known as affricates, which completely block the airflow in the, from Q to further northern tradition. The two affricates, according to image, no, that you see on your screen, the two main affricates we focus on English are T and G. Sh, no, T and sh. So later on, after I pass this, after you pass all the things that you need to pass, you'll get to apply more. Okay, it's okay. Anyway, that's how we start. So that is on sibling fricatives. Okay, so that is, we have here some examples for voiceless. We have his, stays, and say. Also have lips around the tongue back at. We also have not. Okay. So you can consider the T sound. You start by placing your tongue between and behind your teeth, deep, sleepily. Okay. So almost instantly you release that built up air through the fricative position, which involves surrounding your lips and pulling your tongue slightly because of how both and I are produced or are stressed. Okay. Africans are challenging because they are they demand high speed coordination and you not yet enough. Attacking one sound are challenging because they normal high school. Okay. All right. So I guess that is all for today. I hope everything is clear on your end. And if there are any questions, you can always ask me next meeting. Okay? Let me just share. No need, there's no need. You can do that. So these are the different concerns. So what are the things that we've discussed so far? We had this one. We have the thin thieves thought they could thrive without brother. London tip sounds breath. Getting never. Also have 21. Something like that. So there are plenty of them that you can use. Okay? Anyway, thank you. Okay. So that is all for this evening. I hope everybody has learned something new. If there are any questions, you can always ask me next meeting in our live chat. See you next meeting with the same topic but more discussion. No, there are plenty of discussions. So that is all for today, everyone. Goodbye and good night. Goodbye.